Hello students, welcome to economics class. I hope all of you are making a good use of our classes and also doing good revision of each classes so that it will be very helpful for you to cope up with new sessions. In our previous session, we have started with new chapter and we have already completed with 2 sessions on it. So in these sessions also we will be continuing with that same chapter. So before getting into this session, let us try to recall what and all we have discussed in our previous sessions about this chapter. For our easy understanding, let us divide this chapter into 2 parts. That is, production on the first part and the cost on the second part. In the first part, what we have discussed in our previous 2 sessions, that is regarding production. There we have talked about meaning of production, how the production takes place inside of a firm by using different factors of production. Then we have discussed about production function meaning and the isoquants. Then the concepts of short run and long run, which is very important throughout this chapter. Then we have discussed about total product, average product and marginal product, in short TP, AP and MP. And we also came to know that the firm will face the law of variable proportions in the short run and it will face the law of returns to scale in the long run. So it will face the law of variable proportions in the short run and the law of returns to scale in the long run, and we have discussed in detail about this. Continuing with this, in the second part, so here we are going to talk about an important thing of costs. So in this session we will talk about costs as well as about Cobb-Douglas production function and also short run costs. To begin with, what do you mean by costs? You know that no production can take place without money. Without spending on production, no producer can produce anything. So the producer has to face different types of costs in each stage of production. So in simple, the cost can be defined as the expenses incurred by the producer to produce the commodity in the short run or in the long run, whatever it is. So the cost incurred in the production of commodity is called as cost of production. It may be purchasing of land, it may be purchasing of machineries and raw materials, or hiring laborers to work, electricity bill, it includes electricity bill and transportation, fuel, advertisement to attract the consumers towards our product. Whatever it is, everything which is spent on that commodity is considered as production cost. We know that the production can be done by using the factors of production. What are the factors of production? Land, labor, capital and organization. The producer will use these factors of production to produce commodities. But these factors of production won't come for free of cost. You have to give some reward for them or payment for them. So those factor payments or rewards are considered as production cost. So the remuneration or rewards which is given to the factors of production is called as cost of production. Just like production function, there is a cost function also. What do you mean by production function? A production function shows the different combination of different factors of production, how it will end up with giving a certain quantity of goods. It will show the relationship between production and factors of production. But whereas the cost function, what does the cost function of a firm shows? To understand the cost function very easily, let us consider this example. Suppose a firm decides to produce 50 units of goods X As you know, the production can be done by doing different combinations of different factors of production. So this firm can produce this 50 units of goods X by the different input combinations of labor and capital. So which has different level of costs here. So here we have taken 3 different combinations, that is 6 units of labor and 3 units of capital. The firm is able to produce 50 units of X. 4 units of labor and 4 units of capital, and the firm can produce 50 units of X. And the 3 units of labor and the 6 units of capital, again the firm can produce 50 units only. From all these 3 combinations, the firm can produce 50 units of good X. But the question is, since these 3 different factors of production combinations have different cost structure, which combination the producer is going to choose? Try to answer this question. A rational producer, obviously he is going to choose a combination which is less expensive for him. See, the private firms are always profit maximizing firms. They will be looking to reduce their cost of production and to get maximum profit. So the cost function describes that the least cost of producing each level of output, how a firm can produce each level of output with the less cost of production, given the prices of factors of production and technology. So the cost function of the firm shows that how a firm will choose the least cost of producing each level of output given the price of factors of production and technology. So this is what cost function. Here I would like to introduce you to one more topic called Cobb-Douglas production function. This is named after 2 economists, Professor Cobb and Douglas. So it is very simple to understand. Basically, the Cobb-Douglas production function shows the relationship between 2 or more inputs. Typically here we have taken capital and labor. And the Cobb-Douglas production function is Q equals to x1 to the power of alpha and x2 to the power of beta. So here x1 is representing factor 1. x2 is representing factor 2. For our convenience, let us put it as x1 will be capital and x2 will be labor. And alpha and beta are output elasticities, and we have assumed to be constants. And Q is the level of output. The Cobb-Douglas production function shows that how this x1 factor and x2 factors, the different combination of these 2 factors, will show the different quantities. That will be shown by this Cobb-Douglas production function. So that's all enough for our analysis now. And moving forward to an important topic of this session, that is about classification of production costs. You know that the firm's production can take place in 2 different time periods. It may be short run and it may be in long run. What do you mean by short run? So short run in the sense the firm will not have enough time to bring changes in all the factors of production. Here the firm will operate with both fixed factors as well as variable factors. But in long run, the things will become different. Here the firm will face only variable factors because the firm will have enough time to bring changes in all the factors of production. Based on that only, the production cost can be divided into 2 types, that is short run costs and long run costs. It's very simple in meaning. Short run cost in the sense the cost incurred by a firm to produce commodity in the short run. Then what do you mean by long run cost? The cost incurred by the firm to produce commodity in the long run. But what is the major difference between these 2 costs in the sense? Since the firm faces both fixed factors as well as variable factors in the short run, the firm will face both fixed cost as well as variable cost under short run. But in the long run, the firm will faces only the variable factors. So there will be only variable costs. So this is what the major difference between short run costs and long run costs. So let us start with this short run costs. So what are short run costs? As I told, it's very simple. It's a cost incurred to produce commodities in the short run. So in short run, the firm don't have option to change all the factors of production. It can change only few factors, that is considered as variable factors. Some of the examples we can consider as it may change some unskilled labors, it can increase the quantity of raw materials, or it may increase the number of shifts to increase the production. So these are all considered as variable factors. The firm can increase the production only by increasing these variable factors. So since there is fixed factor also as well as variable factor also operating in short run, the short run costs are divided into two types, that is fixed cost also and variable cost also. What are the short run costs? Let us see one by one. The first cost will be total fixed cost, that is TFC. What do you mean by TFC? In very simple, the payment made for the fixed factors of production is considered as fixed cost. So you know that under short run the firm will have some of the factors to be fixed. The payment made for those fixed factors is called as fixed cost. What are those? Let us see some of the examples for that. It may be rent of factory, it may be insurance premium, it may be salaries of permanent workers or standard depreciation, which every firm faces every year. So here it is important to note that the fixed cost of production will remain fixed throughout the production. You need not to increase with the production quantities. But one more important thing to be noted, that even though the production is zero, you can see this table, even though production is zero, there is some positive fixed cost. What is the reason? It's because suppose there is no production taking place in your firm, but it doesn't mean that you need not to pay any rent of your factory. Is it like that? Whether the production is positive or zero, you have to pay the rent of factory. You have to pay the insurance premium for that. So like this, these fixed costs are compulsory payments which is made for this fixed factors. So that even though the production is zero, there will be some fixed cost. This is very important point to be noted. And even though the production increases, it doesn't matter, the total fixed cost remains fixed. Got it? And the second type of cost, what is the second cost? That is total variable cost. So it is very important cost. We will call it as prime cost. Total variable cost is also called as prime cost. It is because under short run, if the firm wants to increase the production, it is possible only by increasing variable costs, not by anything. You cannot increase the fixed cost here. So here the firm can increase the production only by purchasing variable factors, so that the production can be increased only by increasing total variable costs. And the difference between TFC and TVC here, I told you that even though there is no production, even the production is zero, there is some positive TFC. You see there in the table, that is 20. But if the production is zero, the TVC is zero. What is the reason? If you want to do production, then only you require factors of production, that is variable factors. If there is no production, the TVC will be zero. And if you want to increase your production, obviously you have to hire more and more variable factors of production. So automatically your total variable cost increases. Got it? You can see in the table, as the production increases, TVC is also increasing. If the production decreases, TVC also decreases. But not like TFC. TFC remains constant throughout our production. And one more difference is, even though production is 0, TVC will be 0, but TFC is positive. Okay, this is the difference between TFC and TVC. And the next cost is total cost. The name itself is indicating that it includes both the fixed as well as variable costs. We require the whole value, how much we have spent on production. So the total cost can be calculated as by adding up both TFC as well as TVC. You observe this table. The production is 0, but still the TC is 20. Even though the production is 0, the total cost is showing positive value. What is the reason? Absolutely correct. It is because of, even though production is 0, the firm has to face TFC, that is fixed cost of productions. Because of that reason, so TC includes also TFC. So even though production is 0, the same TFC value will become total cost. So here at the 0th commodity, the TFC is 20, TVC is 0, but TC is 20 because TFC, the same value is TC here. And for following commodities, you can observe for suppose for second commodity, TFC is 20, same, it will remain constant, whereas TVC is 18. So TFC plus TVC, it will become 38. Suppose for the 10th commodity, TFC is remaining same as 20, but whereas TVC is 95 and TC is TFC plus TVC, that is 115. Okay, so this is how total variable cost, total fixed cost and total cost looks like in terms of table. So now how these total cost, total variable cost or total fixed cost looks like in terms of diagram. How these curves looks like. We can derive these curves by putting these table values in terms of diagram. Here it's a two-dimensional diagram. Here we have taken output on the OX axis and costs on the OY axis. Okay, on OY axis we are representing out costs and OX axis we are representing output. Let us take the first cost what we have discussed, that is TFC, total fixed cost. We came to know that even though production is 0, the TFC will be positive. That is the reason TFC is not starting from origin. It is starting from some positive value, that is 20. Got it? Look at the point C1 in the diagram. Okay, so since the TFC remains constant throughout the production, doesn't matter what quantity the firm is producing, TFC remains same. In the table it was 20, 20, 20 for all the commodities. It is clear that the TFC will be horizontal straight line. You see in the diagram where TFC is representing a horizontal straight line. Whereas TVC, total variable cost, the firm can increase the production only by increasing this variable cost. It will increases as the production increases, and opposite is also true. So since it increases with the production increases, you can see that the TVC is upward sloping curve. TVC, see in the diagram. And TC being the combination of both the TFC plus TVC, obviously it will have greater value than TVC, so it lies above TVC curve, that is TC. So TC is also upward sloping curve. But here a question arises, what is the reason for this upward sloping curve of TC? Which cost is the reason for this? Yes, absolutely it is TVC, not the TFC. The TC increases only because of TVC here. So in this diagram it is showing that to produce OQ1 level of output, the firm is producing OQ1 level of output. To produce this OQ1 level of output, The firm is spending OC1 level of TFC, OC2 level of TVC, and OC3 level of TC. Got it? So this is what the shapes of TFC, TVC and TC. Okay students, so still there are many short-run costs are there. But for this session, I'll end up here. But before ending up, what and all we have discussed in this topic today, we have discussed with the meaning of production cost, that is the cost incurred by the firm to produce commodities. And we came to know that the firm can produce commodities by the different combination of factors of production. And also we came to know that the cost function, that is, a firm always chooses the least cost combination to produce a given level of output. Then we came to know that what is Cobb-Douglas production function, which shows the relationship between two or more inputs, that is physical inputs, capital and labor. And we discussed about the concept of short run. What are the short run costs? And why does the firm faces both fixed and variable costs, that we have seen. And then we discussed about TFC, total fixed cost, which is the payment made for fixed factors. And then we discussed about TVC, that is total variable cost, which is the payment made for variable factors. And then total cost, which is combination of both TFC plus TVC. And then we saw the shapes of these curves. TFC being constant factor, it will be a horizontal straight line. TVC will increases with the production, so it will be a upward sloping curve. And TC is also upward sloping curve, but the TC curve lies above the TVC curve. Got it? In our next session, as I told, we will continue with short run costs. So here we have taken all the total costs, TFC, TVC, TC, only total we have taken. In next session we will look into average costs under the short run only. And then we will discuss about long run costs. And then we will look into the shapes of long run costs. Don't forget to make good revision of this session. Please answer these questions. Define production cost. Write the equation of Cobb-Douglas production function. Define cost function of a firm. TFC plus TVC equals to what? And then write the meaning of TFC and TVC. We will answer these questions in the next session. Meanwhile, you try to answer this question by watching the video as well as your textbook. So we will meet you in next session. Thank you.